Let's read this Spider-Man article together. Spider-Man at 20. How Sam Raimi and Sony Pictures rescued the superhero genre and changed Hollywood forever. Facts! In the fall of 1999, Sam Raimi stepped into the offices of Sony Pictures in an impeccable black suit to pitch himself to direct Spider-Man. He had no reason to expect he would get the job. My agent, Josh Donnan, said, "They want to be honest with you. There's about 18 directors they'd rather have than you on the list," Raimi recalls. And I said, "Okay, we'll tell them I'm number 19. Yeah! When Raimi finally did get a meeting, he found himself in the room that included Sony Pictures CEO John Calley, Columbia Pictures Chair Amy Pascal, Marvel Studios Chief Avi Arad, Sony Film Executive Matt Tomak, and the film's producer Laura Ziskin. Calley and Ziskin died in 2011. To break the ice, Raimi started talking about why he loved Spider-Man so much. He talked about the painting of the web slinger that hung on his childhood bedroom wall. He talked about how Spidey's alter ego, Peter Parker, was the first time a nerdy kid like Raimi could actually see himself as a superhero and not some goofy sidekick. He talked about how Spider-Man's co-creator, Stan Lee, gave life to a character whose foibles and failures were just as important, if not more so, than his astonishing powers and death-defying feats of bravery. And then abruptly, Raimi stopped talking. The meeting was going very, very well, recalls Tomak. And all of a sudden, Sam looked at his watch, stood up, and said, "Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your having me in." Raimi, it turned out, had been told he had an hour for the meeting, and he was determined not to go over. "I was very aware of how they didn't want me," the director says now. "I really didn't want to also overstay my welcome." Suffice it to say, he didn't. Raimi got the job, and the record-shattering success of Spider-Man with $825 million worldwide. It was at that point the highest-grossing superhero movie of all time by a considerable margin, catalyzed the rise of the genre as the most dominant force in studio filmmaking over the past 2 decades. Without it, there would be no Marvel Cinematic Universe, no Avengers Endgame, no The Dark Knight, and certainly no Spider-Man No Way Home. Facts! Spider-Man is absolutely goated. That is such a great story. I love learning about behind the scenes for movies that I absolutely adore, and it's so cool to see that Sam Raimi, with his passion, his heart and soul, infused it with Spider-Man.